fresh water out
Yeah,
there.
even the Pacific temperatures, though, are running above average for this time of year, especially Southern California. Been running 10 plus degrees above normal for those ocean surface temperatures. So it's not just the land heat wave, it's also affecting the marine life.
I have to imagine there's some krill or whatever in the waters right now.
They're
they must be feeding.
Yeah, they're chasing food around somewhere. They know
Yeah.
they know what they're doing. Let's take a look at the big picture pattern here and talk about the warm spell that's going to continue. The heat wave is now in the rearview mirror, but we have several more days to go of the storm track being pushed well to our north. Another atmospheric river taking aim at the Pacific Northwest over the course of the next few days. We are going to be high and dry across the Bay Area with warmer than normal temperatures continuing for the foreseeable future. Not record setting, though. Let's take a look at the 10-day temperature outlook for San Jose. And instead of being up into the 80s and even 90s, the warmest days will be in the lower half of the 80s in the Santa Clara Valley. Temperatures running a good 10 to 15 degrees above normal through the rest of this week. But towards the tail end of this 10-day outlook, you see a retreat towards normal temperatures, even slightly below normal temperatures by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's the last day of March and the first couple days of April. And that corresponds to the next hint of a rain chance headed our way. The 7-day rainfall outlook. There's going to be enough fog that is trying to register a little bit of drizzle at time to time, but actual showers not arriving until a week from today at the earliest, and more likely next Monday night into Tuesday. And even that could still go either way. We're below the 50-50 threshold line on our rain chart at this point. So there's nothing to wash any pollen out of the atmosphere. Each and every day, we are going to be in the high category, not the highest category, but still into that 4th out of 5 different levels. And it's mainly oak pollen right now that is really spreading out across Bay Area. There's plenty of alder and juniper floating through the air as well. Eventually, the rain chances will return for at least a little while, but we're getting towards the tail end of that rainy season. Right now, looking outside and seeing severe clear, blue skies. Not much haze in the horizon. That's nice. Temperatures 66 degrees in San Francisco is the cool spot. A lot of 70s, but a couple of 80s out there. 81 degrees in Livermore and in Concord. But again, a far cry from the widespread 80s and 90s that we had across the Bay Area last week. Giants, their home opener, season opener, is Wednesday, but they are playing at Oracle Park tonight and again tomorrow night against the Sultanes de Monterrey from the Mexican Baseball League. Temperature first pitch in the mid-60s at 6:45 this evening, retreating to right around 60 degrees through the rest of the game from 8 o'clock through 10 o'clock this evening. So if you're heading out for some preseason baseball, pleasantly mild conditions, but cooling off steadily as we head through the rest of the evening. Let's talk about tomorrow's temperatures, which are going to warm up to basically the same extent that they did today, which means after temperatures a few degrees above average in the morning, we're going to be about 10 to 15 degrees above normal in the afternoon. That puts us up into the low to mid 80s in the Santa Clara Valley. Temperatures east of the Oakland Hills also reaching up well into the 80s, with temperatures around the Bay. They're getting close to 80 degrees down the peninsula and right at 80 degrees in Fremont, low to mid 70s for San Francisco and Oakland, mostly 60s at the coast. And then the North Bay, a mix of upper 70s and low to even mid 80s by tomorrow afternoon. 84 degrees in Healdsburg, one of the warm spots on the map. For our neighbors to the south, temperatures are also going to be well above what's normal for late March. 73 degrees in Monterey, but close to 80 degrees in Salinas, into the 80s in Hollister by tomorrow afternoon. Same thing around Gilroy and Watsonville, getting up to above 80 degrees, falling just short of that in Santa Cruz by tomorrow afternoon. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast, which does include the return of closer to normal temperatures by early next week. But the coolest day inland is going to be a week from today, with showers possible, especially late in the day. High temperatures still reaching the low 70s, though, which is a good 3 or 4 degrees above normal by next Monday. Bayside temperatures are going to run mostly in the low to mid 70s this week, and then one day, next Monday, back into the upper 60s. So finally, a retreat to near normal temperatures, but it's only going to be for the last couple of days of March. This is going to go into the record books as one of the warmest months of March on record for much of the country, but for several communities around the Bay Area as well. Coastal temperatures staying in the 60s through the rest of this week.